What if I told you that the NCAA's leading scorer from last season is actually wearing purple and gold right now? That the same player who put up nearly 24 points per game in college, torching defenses with a unique blend of bully ball strength and silky three-point shooting, is now a Los Angeles Laker, fighting for his basketball future in training camp. Lakers fans, this might be one of the most intriguing, overlooked stories of the offseason, because while stars and trades dominate the headlines, sometimes it's the underdog who becomes the story that no one saw coming. And in this case, that underdog is Eric Dixon. Before we dive into everything you need to know about Dixon, his skill set, his strengths, his weaknesses, and his actual chances of making the roster, I want to remind you to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and hit that notification bell. This is Los Angeles Lakers News Top, your home for in-depth breakdowns, honest takes, and every little detail about the team we love. Now let's get into why Eric Dixon could be the Lakers' most surprising name to watch when training camp begins. Eric Dixon is not your typical undrafted flyer. He's 24 years old, not a teenager with raw upside. He's a grown man with a grown man's body, 6 feet 8 inches, 255 pounds, with a 6 feet 11 inches and a half wingspan. Born and raised in Philadelphia, he carries that Philly toughness with him every time he steps on the court. He spent 5 years at Villanova, a program known for producing fundamentally sound, tough, and NBA-ready players. And while for most of his career he was more of a role player, everything changed in his final season. Dixon exploded, averaging 23.3 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 2 assists per game, while shooting 45% from the field, a blistering 40% from 3, and an impressive 81% from the free throw line. Those are elite offensive numbers, and that's why he ended up leading the entire NCAA in scoring. So what exactly makes Dixon so special? Let's start with his body. If you've seen him play, you know he's built like a tank. Broad shoulders, tree trunk legs, and a frame designed to absorb and deliver contact. In college, he bullied defenders who tried to stand him up in the paint. But Dixon isn't just a bruiser. He combines that old-school physicality with modern offensive skill. His footwork is polished, his touch around the basket is soft, and he knows how to use angles to create space. He can score with his back to the basket, face you up, and even take slower defenders off the dribble. But the biggest shock to most people when they watch Eric Dixon play is his shooting. This isn't just a big man who can occasionally stretch the floor. Last season he hit 2.9 threes per game, shooting 40% from deep. And these weren't just wide-open, standstill attempts. Dixon has shown the ability to shoot off the dribble, off the catch, and even when running off movement. That level of shooting versatility for a guy his size is rare. Think about the modern NBA and how valuable a forward with that profile can be. We've seen players like Julius Randle, Grant Williams, and even Naz Reid carve out roles with similar skill sets. Dixon's shot is fluid, almost guard-like, and when combined with his bully ball scoring, he becomes a tough matchup for opposing defenses. On top of that, he brings a layer of secondary playmaking. At Villanova, he averaged about 2 assists per game, and while that's not a huge number, it highlights his ability to read defenses. When double teams came, he could find cutters or shooters. He's not a black hole on offense, he makes the smart play. That's the kind of IQ Villanova instills in its players, and it shows. But of course, if he were perfect, he wouldn't be on an Exhibit 10 contract. There are real weaknesses in his game. Defense is the glaring issue. Dixon struggles with lateral quickness, which makes it difficult for him to stay in front of faster wings or switch onto guards. He's not a rim protector either, lacking the vertical explosiveness to be a shot-blocking presence. On top of that, despite his size, he's a below-average rebounder. You'd expect a 255-pound forward to dominate the boards, but Dixon has never been that type of player. He relies more on positioning and effort than athleticism, and in the NBA, that can get exposed quickly. So the question becomes, can Dixon's offensive gifts outweigh his defensive flaws enough to earn him a roster spot? That's what this training camp will decide. Right now, he's on an Exhibit 10 contract, which essentially means he's in a prove-it situation. If he doesn't make the Lakers' final roster, he's expected to head to the South Bay Lakers in the G League. There, the team can keep him in the system, develop him, and monitor his progress. But there's another path. The Lakers have a third two-way contract spot available, and if Dixon impresses during camp and preseason, he could very well snatch it. Imagine having a player like Dixon on a two-way deal, low risk, high reward. For a team like the Lakers, who are always balancing stars with role players, finding shooting and scoring versatility in unlikely places can be a game changer. We've seen it before. Undrafted players, Exhibit 10 guys, even two-way contracts, they've produced real contributors in the league. Look at what players like Alex Caruso did when given a chance. Dixon may not have the defensive chops Caruso brought, but his scoring and shooting profile could make him a weapon off the bench. And here's the bigger picture: the Lakers desperately need shooting. They need floor spacing around LeBron James and Anthony Davis, or whoever is commanding the offense in this new era. Adding a big forward who can stretch the floor, bully smaller defenders, and punish mismatches gives the coaching staff another tool in their arsenal. Even if Dixon never becomes a regular rotation player, having him as depth or as a call-up option from South Bay could prove valuable over the long grind of an NBA season. If you're looking for comparisons, the names that come up are fascinating. Julius Randle, for the way he uses his body and mixes scoring with outside shooting. Miles Bridges, for the fluidity of his shot. Grant Williams, David Roddy, T.J. Warren, Naz Reid, guys who may not be stars but have carved out meaningful NBA roles by leaning on offensive versatility and shooting touch. Dixon fits that mold. The Lakers just have to decide if his defensive shortcomings are something they can live with, or something they can develop over time. For now, Dixon is a dark horse. He's not going to be the headline name coming into training camp. Fans will be more focused on potential trades, on the development of young guys like Jalen Hood-Schifino, or how new acquisitions like Dalton Connect and others will fit. But don't overlook Eric Dixon. Because every season, someone comes out of nowhere, someone beats the odds, someone turns an Exhibit 10 deal into something more. And with his scoring pedigree, his body, and his shooting touch, Dixon has as good a chance as anyone. So when training camp tips off, keep your eyes on number 43 in purple and gold. He may not be a household name, but he's a fighter, a scorer, and a guy who believes he belongs in the NBA. And in a league that constantly rewards shooting and versatility, Eric Dixon just might surprise you. Lakers fans, I want to hear from you. Do you think Eric Dixon has a real shot at making the roster, or will he end up in South Bay developing his game? Could his shooting actually earn him that third two-way spot? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'll be reading everything you guys say. And if you're excited to see underdog stories like this unfold, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. This is Los Angeles Lakers News Top, and as always, we'll keep you locked in with every storyline, from stars to sleepers. Because sometimes, the story that starts at the bottom of the roster ends up being the one that inspires us all. Here's a crucial insight for you: diving into financial education can significantly elevate your quality of life. In the realm of finance, take the time to explore bonds and stocks, with a special emphasis on real estate investment trusts, REITs. These investments have the potential to generate passive income. Approach this journey with diligence and opt for reputable investment brokerages globally. By doing so, you'll be laying a solid foundation for a more secure and prosperous future.